My notion of Paris before arriving. I didn't really have any expectations.
It was fantasized.
That it was a good place for artists to be and to live life and kind of be at a slower pace than in the U.S. and under less pressure. So that was colorblind society.
No, not really.
And I guess in a political way, I think they look at color, but I think I've said a lot that a lot of times people think more about nationality than your color. So me being American is a different thing than just me being a black woman.
It doesn't feel like it's affected my life.
It hasn't, as far as I know.
There may have been a few unpleasant incidents over the year, but they were not significant. In fact, I can't remember what they are, but I'm willing to wager that there were a few. But they were pretty low on the scale of unpleasantness. There's a point when you live in a place where you kind of take ownership of it, and it's no longer the magical kind of place that you dreamt about before you moved there. That no distinction, at least legally, is made between the citizens. I don't think it's realistic.
I think it's a good idea in principle. I think it's a good idea in principle. It's problematic also. There's many different kind of, I think, social codes to be acceptable as
It was
French.
this distance. I mean, French people were like the other, and then I was an American.
Where it could be problematic is you also diminish the culture that people came from and say kind of you have to assimilate to what we have going on here, which is the opposite of a melting pot and where everyone can be who they're supposed to be and be respected. Because I think the idea actually is that if we say everyone is French, then everyone is going to get the same treatment. But the truth is I should be able to be French and look the way I look, and I'm being treated the same way anyway. You know, I think kind of the highest ideal of one community or color blindness is that you're seeing everyone with their differences but respecting them the same or treating them the same. And so this is why idealistically it sounds like a good idea, but I don't know what the plan is for execution or how it's actually being executed, and it's just problematic. So there's many different ways that it's broken up. It's not just like, okay, you look like this and we're going to treat you like this.
In the U.S., there are certainly people who are bigoted solely because of color.
I'd say the difference between discrimination in the States versus here is that it's really based on nationality and not the color of your skin. And also socioeconomics play probably a bigger part here than in the States. They play a big part in the States too. But here I think where you're from and where you live also determines the way people think about you in a different way.
I think they can get beyond the color issue. And in that sense, it would be a form of racism based on culture and language. I think they take a paternalistic view of people of color, at least from their colonies, Africa and the West Indies. From that, it's largely symbolic. It means the full rights of citizenship. It means moving in and out of the country easily and seamlessly. It means being able to vote, which is really important. And
again, I think I'm always an outsider because I'm not from this culture, I'm not American, and I'm not trying to be French. So I think I'm always in a special category of other. I was raised in an environment like work smarter, not harder. When here, I'm in contact with people who are from the source. So I just try to be the authentic me that I can be and represent, if I represent anyone, be a representative of a classy, educated black woman.
As an African American, I do feel that I have a duty and a need to show people what people of color can do. I'd rather that be done through action and not through discourse.
Okay.